Assalamu alaikum, babes. Welcome to Sincerely Assanatou, a podcast where we talk everything motherhood, womanhood, and lifestyle through the lens of Islam. I am your host, Assanatou, and this is officially our very first episode. I'm so excited. Today's episode is actually going to be about the hijab. There is no talking about our experience as Muslim women unless we mention the hijab. Whether you are non-hijabi or you are hijabi, you are going to have to encounter it one way or another. Now, contrary to the title of the video, this is not actually going to be a whether you should wear the hijab or not wear the hijab. It's not a compare and contrast situation where I'm telling you the benefit of wearing the hijab versus the benefit of not wearing one. I unequivocally believe you should be wearing the hijab, and I'm going to go over the why. But if you happen to click on this video, not from my socials, but through YouTube, then I have placed you in one or three categories. One, you either are non-hijabi and you are trying to find a reason why you should put the hijab on. You are a hijabi who's struggling to keep it on and you're looking for motivation, or you don't belong to any of these groups. You might be a non-Muslim and you're just wondering what the hijab is all about. So regardless, wherever you fit, just know you're welcome here. And this is a real conversation. These are real things happening to us. It's happening to women, Muslim women all over the world. Those are real experiences. And I'm going to tell you about my own journey through the hijab. And before all, I want to tell you that wherever you are in your hijab journey, you are not alone and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You should not compare yourself to anyone, either online, in real life, wherever, when it comes to, especially not just the hijab, but really anything about your life, because you don't know the hurdles the person had to overcome to get to the stage where they're at. Maybe you're just like walking that same path, they're just in front of you and you're just like walking right behind. So as you go through your journey, you need to understand that it's normal to feel certain things, to feel like, what am I even doing this for? As long as you understand the purpose behind it, of course, like you have your intention set, and just know that it's eventually going to work out, but it's not a perfect journey. It's not linear. It's not, oh, all of a sudden you want to wear the hijab and it's just going to come to you like boom, boom, boom. And it's so interesting because the hijab is not really a topic that is hidden anymore. Like, there has been a lot of talk about the hijab, but yet still there's so much stigma around it. So let's talk about it. Additionally, I also made notes of 10 different reasons why women do not wear the hijab, and I am going to list them all and probably put like a quote from one of the social wherever I saw it to kind of like show the proof or like the thought behind why the person thought so, and kind of like give a little bit of advice, because trust me, I am not coming from a place of perfection. I have struggled with the hijab just as much as you probably might be or have. It is not a pretty journey or like, something that you just wake up and, it's all good, done and everything. It's rough, but there is beauty in that roughness. So I remember when I first put on the hijab, I come from a Muslim family, but the hijab wasn't really a topic in my family. We are Muslim. My mom still covers her head, but not in the traditional way that I would wear it. This is another topic on its own, but I want you also to remember that the hijab doesn't have to look like, the abaya and the scarf around your head. You can wear modest clothes that is not similar to Arab culture clothes and still be wearing the hijab. So that is a completely different conversation, but let's focus on the topic of hijab right now. So I remember when I first got into the concept of the hijab, I was really wondering why it is, because I've come from a community where there were hijabis and non-hijabis, but I've never really associated the hijab with being Muslim or non-Muslim. Where I come from, you are Muslim if you pray, if you fast, if you give zakat. Basically, you follow the 5 pillars of Islam. The headscarf was really never part of like the dress code or anything like that. So it wasn't until really I even came into the West and I started really seeing the difference. And then you have social media and there's this like, oh, if you're a Muslim girl, you need to be wearing your hijab. And I was very, very curious about it. Like, I never grew up knowing that the hijab was a thing, even though I was Muslim my whole life, right? I thought, as long, like, I knew you should not be exposed in my house. You're not allowed to wear like a crop top or anything like astaghfirullah. My mom, this, you already know. Anyways, so modesty was already part of like my everyday. And when I say modest, I'm not even talking about like all the way down dresses. It's more like being covered and not showing your goods out, right? That kind of modest. So, and I was like living my life just fine. And then I found out like, hey, there are actually this debate going on where women are supposed to be wearing hijab and women are not supposed to be wearing hijab. I started doing my research, and that's when I started actually getting closer to the deen. I wanted to know Islam for myself. Like, even though I came from a family or Muslim family, I really wanted to know what Islam was so that I can start practicing intentionally. And guys, there come to a time where it doesn't matter if you are born into a Muslim family, you get to want to learn Islam for yourself. You get to choose Islam regardless. And that was my path, basically. So I read the Quran and I made my own, I formulated my own thought first. I know Allah wanted us to dress modestly, but so far as like that covering the headscarf specifically, I wasn't too convinced about it. I mean, I am now because I'm wearing it obviously, but I was not at the time. Still, I knew that it was a thing that if you wear the hijab, you are proudly announcing yourself to be a Muslim woman. So I decided that I was going to put the hijab on because I wanted to proudly announce that I was a Muslim woman. If only I knew it wasn't just that easy. Because, girl, I put the hijab on and I was going around my day, and then it was hard. Oh my God. And I'm not talking about just like wearing the hijab. I mean, you have to, all of the sudden, it's like you put a target on your back. People are looking at you. People are asking you questions. Like, you have to be constantly proving to the world around you, like why you're wearing the hijab or why you should be wearing the hijab. And it felt so heavy because even then I still didn't understand truly the reason why I was wearing the hijab. I was just stuck on I'm showing that I'm Muslim part, right? So that's, I guess, one piece of advice. Hey, take the good out of my story and leave the bad alone. I don't want you to associate yourself with me literally or compare yourself to me, because my journey is my journey, your journey is your journey, and we probably might go through the same thing, we might not. It's up to you to formulate your own thoughts on what I'm saying and take the good out of it. But it was really a struggle, and I was like, I needed to find out. Like, I did not have that connection with the hijab. It was, to me, it was just purely external. So I took the hijab off. Mind you, the first time that I put it on, I was in high school. I was a freshman, and I was involved in like all kind of stuff. I was doing sports. I was like running around. I was also used to a specific kind of lifestyle. So it was very hard for me to adjust, especially when I went cold turkey like this. So it was a learning process for me. So I took the hijab off, and I remember my mother telling me that the hijab is not a game. Like, you cannot just put it on and take it off and like whenever you feel like if you have to put it on, you're going to have to like stick to it, right? And I didn't really understand it at first. I didn't get it, why it was do or die kind of thing. But well, I took it off anyway, so it was like I didn't really listen to what she said, right? But I got to learn more and more about the Quran, and I did stray away a little bit. Honestly, I wasn't really into like the deen like that. I wasn't too informed. I also did not have a lot of interest. There was so many things going on in my life. Like, I was very much social, and I decided that when I turned 18 that I was going to put my hijab back on for good. 18 came and I did not do it. However, during this time was learning about Islam. I started getting closer to Islam, and I remember I started having the intention in my heart. I make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I said, Ya Allah, I want to start wearing my hijab. Why did I actually came to the conclusion that I wanted to wear my hijab? There was a beauty to wearing the hijab, and I'm not talking about external beauty. There was something when you wear your hijab, which is something that I would like to share with you guys, right? When you wear your hijab, you are kind of forced to behave in a certain way because you're trying to portray something. See, Islam is a perfect religion, but us as human beings, we're not perfect. When I realized when I placed the hijab on, I felt like I needed to behave a certain way, not like pretending or becoming a different person, but much rather I was much thoughtful about the things that I said, the places that I'd be, the way I interact with people, because I wanted to make sure that I was not misrepresenting my religion because I was now visually a Muslim person. And that's one thing, that's one beauty about the hijab. It does change you inside and out. It does. It changes the way you just move around things because you have, it's almost like, I don't know how to put it, like not a costume, but like a crown, right? It's like all of a sudden everybody is looking up to you. Doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have all of the sudden you have this weight on your shoulder to make sure that you are still a human being. At the end of the day, you are a human being. You are going to fall into mistakes. You are going to make some mistakes, and it's absolutely okay. You should not have to carry the burden of just being that perfect. You should just be human, and this is not for the people, this is for you, right? But me personally, this is how I felt when I was putting on the hijab. I never wanted to misrepresent my religion, especially that it was already like widely being attacked in the West. You never wanted to put yourself in a situation whereby people would like attack you, and it will never have to do with your person. The first thing people see when they see you is your hijab. Your whole personality just comes down to the hijab. And yeah, it's so hard. This is a real struggle. Sometimes it feels like you're just placed in that box where you cannot really step out of because you're a hijabi, like you're not supposed to, but come on, let's be honest. This is part of who we are, not all of it. It is not all of it. There's still so much more that I would even argue is more important than just the scarf that you're wearing on your head. Because remember, hijab is not just the outer clothing. It's also what's inside. If you have a bad character, if you have a foul mouth, if you do things that are haram, if you smoke, you drink, wearing your hijab should not be your priority, sister. Work on those other things. I mean, yes, wear your hijab, but like you have bigger issues to deal with. And I feel like a lot of people go, oh, but da, 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 da. Like, no, I would much rather deal with a non-hijabi who's respectful, who has a great character, and that's me personally, than a hijabi who believes that because she's a hijab, she's like on top of the world. Like the hijab does not make you automatically better than other people. And there's a lot of superiority complex. Like let's face it, there's a lot of superiority complex from hijabis. Sometimes in non-hijabis comment like, oh, or sometimes even the hijabi that's not wearing the hijab properly, either wear it or don't wear it at all. My bad. I didn't know that Allah sent you to be the police around here. Like, these comments sometimes frustrate me so bad because why are you guys discouraging people from like going the way? Like, if the hijab is such a big deal, how about you guys actually practice what you preach? If the goal is to correct, how about you just DM the sister? Hey, I saw that you are wearing the hijab, da 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 da. I think it's better if you wear this way. May Allah make it easy on you. But no, straight attacking her in the comment, like signing along with the men that are probably doing much worse damage in the same comment box. I think that's very disingenuous. I think it's not genuine. I think it comes from a deep personal sense of superiority rather than from a place of love and a place of correction. So there's that. But going back, I even lost my train of thought. But going back to wearing the hijab, so there is so much things, if like, especially let's say if you're a revert, or you are now starting to get into Islam or getting to the deen, and you are struggling with these issues, babe, wearing the hijab is not going to fix it all. Get to the root of it and then put the hijab on. Get to the root of it. And if you want to do it while the hijab is easy for you and you're placing it on, then yeah, absolutely do it. But there are things that are furthermore, like the hijab is not just the outward appearance, it's the work that you have to do inside and everything. I would suggest, if you are somebody that is struggling to wear the hijab, make that intention first. Talk to Allah. There is no burden that Allah placed on you that you cannot shoulder. None. Zero. Just let Allah knows, hey Allah, I want to walk in your path. I want to do this thing for your sake. Help me with it. And soon as you put that sincere intention in your heart, I guarantee you, and it works for everything, not just the hijab, but whatever you want, you have to just sincerely talk to Allah. It will become so much easier. It's like if it's 100%, just talking to Allah gets 95% done. Talk to your Lord. Let Him know that this is what you want to do. This is what you want to strive towards Him. And inshallah, it will be easier for you. Now, I want to go through the list of hold on, make sure I got it. Okay, the list of reasons why I saw some people do not want to wear the hijab, and I sympathize and empathize with you guys, because honestly, wearing the hijab is not easy. There is so much pressure on us to just show up a certain way or be perfect, or like we are like the image of Islam, and sometimes it just feels like our humanity, like our nature is being stripped away from us because of that cloth on our head. Sometimes we're not even seen. All that's seen is the hijab, and you have to work twice as hard to just prove your worth as just a girl, like a human being. And I really share that with you guys, but it is not the end of all. I really do believe that all of this is so worth it for what's to come after. There is so much beauty in the struggle and in the persistence of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as long as you struggle in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will never regret it. I want you to put that in your mind. You will never ever regret it. Okay, so the number one reason I have was pure exhaustion, having to keep wearing it 24/7. There's little flexibility with it, and it's the first thing people notice. I get it. It is exhausting. I want to make this disclaimer. Just because we are wearing the hijab does not mean that it's easy. I still struggle with it every day. It's okay to not want to wear your hijab. It's okay to want to take it off. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Or if you want to wear you're trying to wear your hijab, just get it done. Just do it. Just start. Set that intention and start. Because let me tell you, especially us as women, there's already so much things that we struggle with on a daily basis just for existing. There's so many things that people just expect from us, and by people I really mean the other side, and sometimes from our own sister too. But there's already so much things that we struggle with, trying to prove just our existence and our reason to be, to just be, honestly, right? And I sincerely don't think the hijab, and it is exhausting, but the hijab should not be so much pressure. And that's why I said always make sure you set that intention first and talk to Allah about it, so that your burden can be lightened a little bit. But wearing it should not feel so a burden that you just don't feel like you can go about the world and just live your life. There's always going to be someone picking at you for something. Might as well be the hijab. Just stand out and know that you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep pushing through. There's so much beauty in the struggle, and I'll never get tired of saying it. Just keep pushing through. Be different. Make sure you know the reason why you're doing it is not for this world. You're not doing it for this world. There's nothing of this world that is so interesting to you that you wouldn't want to struggle in that path. Okay? All right. Number two kind of goes straight with number one, and discrimination, especially in the workforce, or just at school or in the world. In the workforce, specifically, I want you to think about it that if you are going to be in a place where people are not going to respect you or treat you accordingly because of your hijab, do you really want to be there? Is it a work environment that you think you can thrive in? I wouldn't. I would not. I always say, there are always, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closes a door for you, just know there is a gate open somewhere else. I want you to start adopting this mindset. If people have a problem with who you are, your identity, because being Muslim is your identity, you do not want to surround yourself with people that will constantly look down on you. It is not worth it. I don't care if it's the pay, the location. And hold on, I know there is struggle, but there is struggle basically in everything. Just for being a woman, girl, you are already struggling. You're already starting from zero, not even zero, from -1, right? So you don't ever want to put something of the word above your thrive for the akhirah. You do not want to do that. So I know we face a lot of discrimination everywhere, but I think it's something that you have to first deal with internally. Like, you have to step into the world ready that people might not agree with the way you're living, but again, you're not doing it for the people. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your Lord. Right? So you have to learn to have kind of like a tough mentality so that you are able to push through. Talk to your sister, talk to your family, find a community if necessary. You have people of Muslim girls that, in wherever you are, and stick with them. Because let me tell you, my mom always tells me there's no way you're going to go in a place and everybody is going to be against you. Sometimes it just take one person. So find that person, find that circle where you're going to be okay, and always make dua. No matter what, always, always, always make dua. Allah will find a way out, or give you a way out. You will always find a way out. Now, 3 was not strong enough in faith. That one made me a little sad because I'm wearing the hijab and I sometimes feel like I'm not strong enough in my faith. Your iman is not something that stays stagnant. Sometimes it's very high, sometimes it's very low. It's not about feelings, it's about consistency, it's about discipline. If you're relying specifically on the way you feel or on your own strength, there's a lot of things. It doesn't even have to be hijab. There's a lot of things in this religion that you won't be able to do. You won't be able to practice. I mean, one of the most difficult thing I think to do is like fasting during the month of Ramadan, right? But because we have this mindset already that, hey, like this is something we do very, very often, it doesn't seem like a challenge anymore. There's no such thing as I am strong or super grounded in my faith. Like, yes, you can have a strong relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can get closer, but at the end of the day, you are human. You're not going to always be high. Wherever there's highs, there are lows. So you not being strong enough to wear your hijab, nobody is. Let's face it, nobody is. We just choose to do it. We just choose to do it in spite of our strength. And we don't gather our strength from ourselves. We take our strength straight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we keep it pushing. So girl, make dua and go on. Number 4 is not feeling beautiful. I want to paint a picture for you. Imagine it is really, really, really cold outside. And it's like, let's say, a blizzard, and you need to either go to work or to school, wherever you gotta go, right? And all of the sudden, you go to your closet trying to pick out an outfit to wear. Are you going to pick up that Michael Kors jacket that you bought on Black Friday like 2 years ago? Or are you going to pick up the heaviest jacket you could find in that closet because that's what's gonna get the job done. Oh, is it clock in? Exactly. The hijab is not something, I think you will struggle if you put your hijab on and are looking to be beautiful from it. If beauty is what you're seeking, think again. The hijab is not the way. There's quicker, faster, better ways to be or to feel beautiful. There is beauty in hijab, but most of the beauty doesn't come from what you see outside. It comes from the inside. It comes from the work that done. It comes from the purpose behind wearing the hijab. And I also struggled with wearing the hijab, and not because I did not feel beautiful, but rather because it did not fit the lifestyle that I was already having, like the freedom of wearing whatever it is. But when you make a choice, sometimes there are sacrifices to be made. You have to choose, is this worth it? And if you feel like it's something that really, really like targets your self-esteem, or you feel like you really cannot get a grasp on it, change your style. Find something you like. I promise you, there is a style for every hijabi out there. There is. You just have to play around with it, move around with it, and when you feel comfortable, when you feel confident, rock it. Rock it. But at the core of it all, wearing the hijab is not the purpose of feeling beautiful. So if you think that you're going to put it on for that purpose, you're going to have a hard time. So redirect your purpose. Find out really the reason why you want to move on to hijab. Set that intention and find ways to feel okay and confident with the hijab. Okay. Now, number 5 is cultural stigma. So basically being forced to wear it. I do not judge a hijabi or a non-hijabi because honestly, I have no idea what struggle they've gone through. I do not know what hurdle they face. I do not know what fence they had to jump. Okay. I was saying I do not know the hurdles that they had to face in order to get to where they are. So when you are being forced to wear the hijab, it is a completely different feeling from when you have to wear the hijab. I personally cannot speak much about it because I've never felt forced, but I have met people who felt forced, and oftentimes they did take it off. I've seen also some women who took their hijab off and decided to put it back on from a choice because they got to learn Islam for themselves. My advice for the people who are being culturally forced, or it's traditional, whatever the reason, but they're being forced to put the hijab on, is learn the deen for yourself. Learn the deen and fall in love with it on your own. It will make it much, much easier because when you're being forced to wear the hijab, it goes hand in hand with not knowing why you're wearing the hijab in the first place. And truthfully speaking, if you don't understand the purpose behind something, it is hard to keep doing it. So you have to make sure you put it upon yourself to do your research. Go and look at behind the scenes, whatever you have to do your research. Read, and make that intention in your heart. Talk to Allah. Ya Allah, I don't know why I'm being forced to do these things. I want to know, I want to love it. Whatever the case may be, make dua, and inshallah it will be better for you. And my heart really goes sincerely to the people who have to deal with this because it's atrocious. Religion that's being forced with anyone is I think it, to me, is bogus. Like there's absolutely no purpose in it because the person is not really following the religion. They're just following a set of rules, right? So yeah, number 6 was fear of backlash, so judgment from people. And like I said, it really comes down to, would you want to be in an environment where people do not accept you for who you are? Do you want to put yourself in that toxic environment where people are targeting you or alienating you because you are a hijabi? No, you don't. Make dua always, and make sure that you're always in an environment that polish your sense of your self-esteem as a hijabi, that always encourages you towards being a hijabi. Inshallah, it will be better for you. Number 7 is liberal and Western views. Some women just believe they don't have to wear the hijab. Listen, I am never one to tell someone how to worship. I am not savvy in the Quran. I learned the Quran for myself. I use
like other people opinion scholars as a secondary base for my view. So I understand the Quran for myself and then I seek after. I don't know what Allah has placed in your heart. I believe what I believe, and I do believe that if you follow Islam, whatever is in the Quran is 100% like what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and that's what it's supposed to be. However, I don't know where people are in the journey. Maybe you might be going through a phase. Maybe you feel very convicted in your heart that the way you're doing things is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it done for you. I mean, there's a plethora of reasons that I can come up with in terms of like the way you practice, but I believe there's no downside to being covered or to having modest to being modestly dressed. There's no downside, not unless there's a medical reason, but if you're a healthy young woman, there's no downside for you to be modestly covered. In fact, there's more benefit to it. Anything, there's more respect behind it. You are more, like there's a lot of benefit for being what is it called covered. So on that subject, I would really say keep researching, like again, make dua to Allah. If this is the path that you're supposed to be on, then it is between you and Allah, sincerely. But if not, I would always advise women, please cover yourselves for your own sake. Just do it for the sake of relationship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just do it. Number 8 is extreme on both ends. I think I just covered it, like not strong enough in name. Okay, let's skip that one. 9 is they have not learned the value yet. Like I said, you have to make that intention. You have to keep seeking. You have to want to find out. And you have to continue making a lot of dua so that you understand the purpose behind it. Just wearing the hijab, like as a head cover, is meaningless if there's no intention behind it. There's no purpose behind it. You want to continue making dua and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees you every step of the way.
There is so much to be said on the topic of hijab. I said there was 10 things, but really, sorry you guys, 9, right? But there is so much to be said with the topic of hijab, and there's a lot of women who have different stories, traumatic stories, beautiful stories about the hijab, and they are all so valid. I just want you guys to remember that the hijab is truly your journey. I would never stand for anyone to talk down on any woman at any stage she's at with the hijab, any woman or man at any stage she's at with the hijab, because just going through that road itself, you're in for a ride. So I always pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy on you, on me, on us, on everybody, so that we continue wearing the hijab, and inshallah it will get easy. Well, that was it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and comment. Assalamu alaikum. Sincerely, Assanatou.